Hello, friends, or should I say hello, campers, because we are at STEAM Camp this summer. So exciting. We have lots of fun activities planned for you every single day of the week. Make sure you check in and around our webpage, smcl.org, to see what type of activity we're doing and what's been recorded, and you can view it whenever you want to at your home. So today's activity is called a bead challenge. And before we talk more about that, because that sounds kind of odd, I didn't even understand what I was doing at first when I first looked at it. Let's do a little welcoming song, and it's called Hello Campers. So here we go. Hello campers, hello campers, hello campers, we're glad you're here today. Sing with me. Hello campers, hello campers, hello campers, we're glad you're here today. Yes, we're glad you're here today. Our schedule for today is we're going to do an opening circle followed by our activity, bead challenge. Then we'll do a brain break. Then our second activity is going to be solving the bead challenge before we close it on in and discuss what we've talked about today. So, bead challenge. What is that? What does that even mean? What are we going to do with the bead? What are we going to do with this little bead? Well, the object of this challenge is to take the bead from one end of a string to the other. Doesn't sound too complicated. One to the other. But there's a little trick that makes it a puzzle, a brain puzzle. So because we're using our brain to puzzle this, this is actually using a science of biology, neurology for our brains. That's the S in STEAM. For those of you who don't know, T stands for technology, E is engineering, A is for art, and M is for mathematics. So we're doing STEAM challenges while we're here at camp. And this one is very interesting and very tricky. It has instructions that I'll be giving to you. And sometimes I don't like to show you what the end product should look like because I want you to use your imagination, but this one's pretty specific. In fact, this one Ms. Wiz made earlier in the week. And I didn't actually read the instructions as well as I should have, because this is too wide, which means that the distance from this point to this point is too big. And when I was trying to do the challenge, it made it so the string, which was measured correctly, actually felt like it was too short. So it was hard to get. In my case, I made this one at home. I didn't have a bead. And so I made this little ring. And so it was it's very hard to do. So I sat down this morning and I said, I have to do this right. So I made a second one. So this one I've made, you can see it is a lot thinner. Yes, and I have made the holes closer to the edge as opposed to being here in the middle. That made it easier to do. So this is version number 2. And then a little bit ago, I made another version just to make sure I could make it quick and easy with you watching. So this is the one I made for my practice. And you're going to get to make one now too. Now, the reason why puzzles and stuff are good, because sometimes the answers are not obvious. Like, can you see just by looking at this, how we're going to get this bead from this loop over to this loop when we have a knot in the middle? The answer isn't obvious. And so this might be something you might not try hard to do or give up too soon. And what we want to do is, the challenge is for you not to give up yet, to be patient and persistent and keep working at this puzzle until you can figure it out. Like I said, I will show you how to do it at the very end, so that will be helpful. So let's go ahead and do that. So what we're going to need is a piece of cardboard. Now, I tried to use the Kleenex box, but again, because it was big, it worked, but it can't be this big. This is too flimsy. So you need a piece of cardboard. So at my house, the only piece of cardboard I could find started out as a shoebox. And so you can see I already cut a piece out of it for earlier to make one of these puzzles. And now we're going to cut another piece out of this. So So what I learned, again, is the length is important as well as the width of it. So I am now going to adjust my screen so you can kind of see what I'm doing. So don't think, I don't have two screens. So I have to do it this way. So there you are looking at my piece of paper, my cardboard with me. And I have a ruler. A ruler is a measuring device that has 12 inches on it. We need to make our piece of cardboard 9 inches, so that's not going to be too difficult. Ms. Wisz is going to cut off. Did I introduce myself? Hi there, my name is Ms. Wisz. I don't think I did that. My name is Ms. Wisz, and I work at the libraries. And I am going to cut off the ends of this because we don't need this part of this. They're just kind of floppy, so I'm going to get those out of my way. Okay, so we have our ruler. And our ruler, we're gonna mark 9 inches. This is gonna be kind of easy because I've already done it once. You can kind of see where 9 inches is. Actually, no, because I got off the end last time. That's right. Last time I had that whole end down there, so that made it fun. So 9 inches, put 0 on the edge here, and we come over here to 9 inches. And the fun thing about pencils and cardboard is I'm going to go and press my pencil in at 9 inches. Very good, Ms. Wisz. Look at that. So now I know I have 9 inches from here to here. All right, now I'm going to take my ruler and use the little bendy part of this. Oh, that's not going to work because I need to have it be at 0. Oh, that's not going to work, Ms. Wisz. I thought that'd be very fun if that would work. But I need to go to 0 on my ruler again and measure up 2 inches because remember I said it was very important that we had the right place. So there's the 0. There's the 1 and there's the 2, and I'm going to poke another hole right there. All right, and to make it easier to cut, I'm going to slide that 0 all the way along that edge and poke again here too. I'm going to slide that 0 along the edge. This is going to make it so I can make a nice straight line to cut on. So now Ms. Wisz is going to turn the ruler and I'm going to connect the dots. There's a reason why you play that game, connect the dots, because sometimes it comes in very handy. Again, the pencil's good because I can put the pencil in the holes. That makes it so Ms. Wisz can draw a nice straight line like that. All right, I had my 9 inches right there, and I'm going to draw another line right there. And so I'm going to cut the cardboard out. Cut. If you're having problems using the scissors and the cardboard, that's all right. It's understandable. Again, that's one of those skills that you maybe don't have really well yet. But if you keep practicing, and cardboard's a good thing to cut on because it's just thick enough that kind of gives you a challenge as opposed to using just a piece of paper. So it's a good thing to cut on. So there is my cardboard. I have cut it out. It measures about 9 inches and 2 inches. So whew, that's good. All right, now the next step of this is I'm supposed to put the circles, the holes, equidistant apart. Okay, equidistant. Kind of think about the word, you can kind of figure out what it means. Equa sounds like equal. Distant is like distance, space. So we're actually going to put the holes equidistant apart, equal amount apart. And we also want to try to make it closer. Instead of having it in the middle, it's going to put it close to an edge. So Ms. Wisz is going to slide her ruler up to the top here. All right. All right, so let's think about this. We have 9 inches and we need to find equal, which means we need to find the middle because that will make it equal from both ends. So we need to find what the half point is for 9. Now, if you have 8 and you want to find the half of 8, what is that? That's right, half. You take the same amount away. That makes 4. Right now, if we have 10, we take half of that away, we have 5. So 9 is between 8 and 10, so that we know the halfway point is going to be between 4 and 5. Right, so what is the number between 4 and 5. What is the number between 4 and 5? Let's look here. Is there a number between 4 and 5? Let's see. There's 4. There's a bunch of little lines, and then there's 5. The cool thing about rulers is all of these little marks are the in-betweens, 4 and 5. So you'll notice that this one that's equidistant or in the middle of 4 and 5 is a little bit long, just like the 4 and 5 mark. This little bit long one is called the half mark. So it is 4.5, and that is the equal distance between 4 and 5 is 4.5. So Ms. Wisz is going to take the pencil, and you can too, and put a hole in my cardboard. All right, so that was the easy one. All right, so now I have 1, 2, 3, 4.5. So how am I going to figure out the equidistant point here? All right, so I know I have the number 4. So what is half of 4? That's right, it's 2. So my number is going to be at least 2, but it's not going to be all the way to 3. So this is always a really tricky thing. We know it has to be less than a half because we had 4.5. So again, your ruler has all these little lines. You can see the big long one that makes the half. So there's this little shorter one right there. That's called the quarter. All right, so you might, if you've ever been cooking, you might know that if you use, if you're using a measuring cup and you sometimes need a cup of milk, sometimes you only need a half a cup. That's less than a whole cup of milk. And sometimes you need a quarter cup. That's how you have less and less fractions of a whole. All right, so now it's a little trickier because now I have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So if you look here, you can see how it was 1, 2.25. So now you're going to count backwards. So we have 9 to 8 is 1, 8 to 7 is 2.25. Again, make sure I don't move my ruler around too much. This between 6 and 7, their long one is the half. So this one right there is the quarter. So I'm going to poke that one with my pencil. There we go. So take our pencil and we can make the hole a little bit bigger. And make the hole a little bit bigger. And make the hole a little bit bigger. All right, so now I have 3 holes in my cardboard. And I need a piece of string. Now I'm using this string because it's kind of colorful and you can see it. You might have string at home that's more brown like this, or even a shoestring, but I'm using the colorful one so that it's easier for you to see. And a trick my grandma showed me is that the length of your arm, and then all the way to your shoulder is about 36 inches. And I need 30 inches. So again, I hold my end of my yarn in my hand and I stretch it way out as far as my arm goes. I lift the other yarn up to my shoulder, and that is a little about 36 inches. Let's test Ms. Wiz's measurements there. Oop, I just had my ruler, my other ruler, where'd it go? Oh no, Ms. Wisz, there it is. There's a measuring tape. We're gonna pull it out to 30 inches. There it is, 30 inches. Press the little button down because that keeps it from moving. And you'll see if I take my string and put it at this edge and stretch it, there's the 30 and a little bit longer. There it is, up here at 30 and a little bit longer. So I know I have enough to make this puzzle work. All right, let's build a puzzle. I'm so excited. So excited. All right, so now we have their string that's 30 inches. I'm gonna take the string and we're gonna make it go in half. So over here we have the 2 ends. And over here we have the loop. We're gonna take the loop end and we're gonna stick it through the middle hole. So here we go, the loop goes through the middle hole, just like that. Very good. And now these 2 ends are gonna come back up here and go through the loop. I'm gonna pull them, pull them. See that little hole? Perfect, there we go. So now we have 2 strings all tied together there. I'm gonna take the bead and push it through one of our ends of our string. There we go. So now the bead is here and we have these two. And we're going to take these two ends and we're going to put them through these holes. Sometimes yarn is easy. Sometimes your string is a little bit difficult and it's easier to push it through with the pencil. I'm going to do that because I know it's going to be a little bit faster. Okay. All right. So now, see the front side. You can see the strings are going through, and we're going to look at the back side. There those are. So we're going to tie these in little knots. For the knot, take the string, we wrap it around our finger, we pull it nice and tight. There's our little knot. Do the same thing, take the string, wrap it around our finger, pull it through the hole, tie it nice and tight, right? Pull the tight. Now, if you find that your hole's too big and you, your string goes through the hole, put a little piece of tape on it. That will not change our challenge at all. Keep it just the same. Okay, so now, let's put it back so you can see, there we have it. We have our two strings and our orange bead. All right, so let's set this aside. Push you back up so you can see my face again because it's time for a brain break because that was a lot of constructing. So we need to have a brain break, and this brain break is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so what it is I'm going to give you a series of things to do, and the number of times we're going to do the things has to do based on the number. So we are going to do 5 claps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're going to do 4 nose touches. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to do 3 arm raises. 1, 2, 3. We're going to do 2 snaps. 1, 2, and then we're going to say woohoo! Just 1 woohoo. All right. So here we go. 5 claps. 2, 3, 4, 5. 4 nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 arm raises. 1, 2, 3. 2 snaps. Woohoo! Can we do it faster? Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. Woohoo! Woo! Very good. Shake it out, and let's do it one more time really fast. Remember, it's claps, nose, arms, snaps, then woohoo. So here we go. Ready, set, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Snap, snap. Woohoo! Woohoo! Good job for joining me with that. So that game's called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You can do any motions you want. You can do ones where you're running around or you're hopping. It's a great fun thing to do with friends. All right, let's go back here to the table. Let's go back here to the bead challenge. And are you ready? Because here we go. Now, if you want to, you don't have to watch this part of the activity. You can go and try to figure out how to do this by yourself. That would be amazing. And then you can then try to challenge your friends on this as well. But I want to make sure that you know the solution to this because it's not always apparent. I saw it one time and then I went to do it another time. And Ms. Wisz couldn't remember how she did it the first time. So that's how tricky this challenge is. So what you want to do is slide the bead up towards the cardboard. Okay, notice you can't go any further because it's run into the knot. So you're going to pull this knot out. All right, and you're going to tuck the little bead in. So now the bead is up here. All right, so now you're going to start pulling all of this. We're going to pull all of this. We're going to keep our bead up here. Pulling, 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 pulling all of this through the hole. Pulling all of this through the hole. All of this comes through the hole. All of this comes through the hole. And suddenly, oh man, I did this 2 times and I did it right both times. Now Ms. Wisz can't do it right again. It's tricky because I'm doing it away from me, so I can't see as well as I'm doing it. So, all right, so I have this here. just did this twice in a row so I can do this really easy for you guys. All right, so we have this here and we're pulling everything through. This, we're pulling it through. There they are. There they are. Okay, all of a sudden, poof, look what happened. Do you see them? 2 little loops came in when I was pulling on the string. All right, let me pull them back away so you can see how they were. All right, so I kept pulling on the string and pulling on the string, and all of a sudden I pulled 2 little loops through. Right now I'm going to grab those 2 little loops and I want to pull them and make them bigger. Make them bigger. Keep the little bead out of the way. Keep them bigger and bigger and bigger. All right, so now you can see the 2 loops. Okay, so what we're going to do is the bead is going to go through those 2 loops. That's right, there's the bead, and the bead goes through the loops. Okay, now the bead's through those 2 loops. Now we pull back those 2 knots. We don't want to see them anymore. Make them go away, make them go away, make them go away. Okay, all right. Keep pulling, leave the bead over here. Okay, now we're going to pull the strings. Pull the strings like this to make that knot. Keep the bead right there so I can see it. Keep pulling, keep pulling, keep pulling. Keep pulling the string, hold on to the bead. We're not ready to do that yet. Keep holding on to the bead. All right, so now that little loop we had at the very beginning, the bead goes back through that little loop from the very, very beginning. There he goes through that loop, and Ms. Wisz has just done it. There it is, all nice and tight again. There's our little knot. There it is, and the bead's now on the purple side. Woo-hoo-hoo, Ms. Wisz did it. That's so exciting. Did you do it too? You can practice. You can go ahead and put it back and make sure you figured out how to do it. So, because if you didn't figure out how to do it the first time, you can try it again. It's the power of yet. That's giving our chance for our brains to keep growing, and so they can learn how to take more things. No different than when you're baking a cake, and the first time you bake a cake, you burn it. Are you going to give up and never make a cake again? No, you're going to figure out why you burned it. Did you cook it too long? Was the heat too high? What happened that made your cake burn? So you try to figure out what it is, and you try again. You try and try again. And that's all about growth mindset. So please share with me your completed puzzles at SMC Libraries, hashtag SMCL Creates. Let me see and you doing your puzzle. Maybe even have a video you can share with me. So that'd be very exciting to see. And then if you want to sign up for summer learning, which I hope you will, the Summer Learning Challenge, you get the chance to win the $1,000 scholarship. You get free books and a lot of fun things. You go to summerlearners.org. That's summer, S-U-M-M-E-R, learners, L-E-A-R-N-E-R-S.org. And you can sign up and register for that. Here we go. Goodbye, campers. Goodbye, campers. Goodbye, campers. We're glad to see you go. Or not. I'm going to see you again next week. I'll see you again real soon. All right. Bye-bye, everybody. See you soon.